Hey, Mom, I was thinking of coming home for Easter this year.
What? You want to come back and stay at home? But you always go to stay with Tyler's family for Easter.
I know that's usually what happens, but it doesn't seem like it will work out like that this year. He's been on a really long business trip overseas this past while, remember? And while he technically does have Easter off, it will probably be hard for him to come back here in time since so many people will be traveling for the holidays. We've already spoken about spending the holidays apart this time. He might still make it, but if he does, he will be later than normal in any case.
And what did his family say about that? Are they okay with it? Don't they want you to join them anyway?
No, they said that it's fine. I mean, there isn't that much point in me going there without Tyler, is there? And we've spent every Easter with them, so they said that we shouldn't worry too much about it this time around.
Sophie, be honest with me now. I don't like how this is sounding. You haven't been causing any trouble over there when you go to stay with them, have you? You're not just making this up because they don't want you there anymore and you need to come here instead, right?
No, of course that's not what this is about. Why wouldn't they want me to be there? His family are all really nice and we get along well. We've never had any problems before now. Plus, I always help out there as much as I can.
I wonder if that is really true. It doesn't sound like that to me. You've always been so laid back, I always worry if you really are doing your part when you should be.
I'm telling you that it's all fine. There are no problems between his family and mine. And Tyler's mom told us that we didn't need to always make the effort to travel each year anyway. I mean, we have been spending both Easter and Christmas with his family, right? She was worried that I may be doing too much for them and not spending enough time with my own family.
That sounds pretty strange to me. They're basically telling you straight out that they don't want you coming there anymore. You must have done something that they're not happy about, but they're just trying to tell you nicely to not come for the holidays anymore.
Why do you always have to look at things in such a negative way? They haven't said anything of the sort. When I'm there, I spend lots of time with his mom, just the two of us. Selena and I go for coffee dates together and all the rest of it. We get along really well. And even when I am home, I often talk to her on the phone just to touch base with what's going on over there in Texas.
Are you sure you're not just bothering her by calling all the time? Maybe she just feels bad and doesn't know how to tell you that she doesn't want to talk to you.
That's not it at all. Come on, why are you being like this? Selena and I even have the same interests in DIY crafts and making things ourselves from scratch. So because of that, we always have something to talk about. There's a lot of common ground between us.
Well, if you say it's all fine, I guess I will have to take your word for it. Just as long as you're not causing trouble, then it's all right. But even if you come back here, there really isn't anything we can do for you here.
I'm not going home because I want you guys to do anything for me. If anything, I will be happy to help out while I'm staying there. I want Lisa to be able to take a little bit of a break at least while I'm there for the holidays.
What do you mean by that? Why do you want Lisa to take a break?
Well, she has been living with you, hasn't she? It hasn't even been a year since her and Jacob got married, and I know that she's been doing a lot around the house while they've been living at home. I thought it would be nice if she could get to rest at least while I'm back home as well.
It's better if she does things instead of you. She's much better at everything. You would just get in the way.
I am not going to get in the way. You're being very critical of me right now, you know. All I'm saying is that I would like to help her out where I can. Anyway, more importantly, how is it with everyone living together? Is it going well? It's been about 6 months at this point, right?
There's nothing for you to be worried about. Everything is going as well as it could be. Unlike you, Lisa listens to what she's told and does everything as it should be done.
You haven't changed at all, have you, Mom? You still say things that don't need to be said. Well, no matter. As long as you're treating her fairly, that's all that matters.
Of course I am. How else would I be treating her? But are you really going to be coming back home for Easter? People in the neighborhood will think that something strange is going on.
Why would they think that? What's so strange about me coming home for Easter?
Well, you left home and moved away and got married, right? And now you're coming home all by yourself. They might start thinking that you got divorced or any other number of things. I don't want there to be a bunch of weird rumors swirling about.
No one is going to think anything like that. You worry too much. No one cares what's going on in our family, and it's none of their business anyway. They can think what they want to think. I don't really care either way.
Remember that this isn't the city. We live in the countryside, and people are way nosier about what goes on in each house. Not much happens here, so even the smallest thing can be enough for people to start gossiping and starting rumors. Even if they're not true, if they get around enough, people will start to believe it. Is it really okay for you to come without Tyler this time? You always come together whenever you come visit me.
It's really starting to sound like you just don't want me to come back to visit at all. Tyler can take care of himself, and he might not even be back anyway. Do you want me to just spend the Easter break on my own at home? Is it really that annoying for you when I come to visit?
No, of course that's not it at all. I was just asking to make sure that everything would be okay. Anyway, I got it. You're coming soon. I will tell Lisa and Jacob that you will be here as well.
Okay, thanks for that. I'll text you again when the date gets closer then. Hey Mom, I just got to the store. So you wanted me to get some paper towels, some mincemeat, and then some lettuce, right? Did you need anything else? Did I forget something? Oh, they have chicken on special as well. Should I get some of that too?
We don't need anything else. There's still food left over from yesterday as well, so we need to finish that before we buy anything that we don't need. We shouldn't be wasting any money.
But it's the holidays. Buying something extra should be okay.
It doesn't matter if it's the holidays. It's just Easter anyway.
Okay, whatever you say. But what about Lisa? Does she want any?
Listen, if you want to cook something with it, then go ahead and buy it. No one is stopping you from doing that. But we're fine with what we have here.
Okay, got it. I won't buy any then. I'll just get what you asked me to buy. I just thought I would mention that there were some good specials. Oh, by the way, I didn't want to ask you this before while I was in the house, but did I do something to upset Lisa?
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, but she seems to be acting kind of strangely towards me. She's pretty formal and cold. I didn't expect her to be like this. Even if I try to talk to her, she barely responds, and if we meet in the hallway, she won't even look me in the eyes. And when I offered to help her with some of the housework, she just tells me that she doesn't need any help and stops me.
Listen, if I tell you, will you promise not to tell her that you heard this from me? It turns out that Lisa doesn't really like you all that much, Sophie. I guess that's why she's acting like that. She's not being outwardly rude, of course, but she probably hopes that you get the message and stop trying to talk to her.
What? Really? Why would she not like me, though? I've only met her at the wedding and then once last year at New Year's.
I think 2 times is enough for someone to know whether they like someone or not.
Maybe it's enough, sure. But I don't even remember talking to her that much. I wonder if I said something rude to her by accident?
It's not that rare for someone to say something rude without realizing that it hurts the other person. And you are often pretty clueless about that sort of thing. You probably said something to offend her without even realizing it.
Did you ask her what the reason is?
I wasn't about to ask her the details of it. She told me that she doesn't like you and you're my daughter. It's not exactly something that I wanted to keep talking about, you know.
I guess that makes sense. Is that why she wouldn't eat dinner with us? I guess she doesn't even want to be in the same room as me.
That's probably it, yeah. Sorry that I didn't tell you beforehand, but I didn't really know what I was supposed to tell you or how. It's kind of an awkward situation.
So that's why you seemed that you didn't really want me coming home for Easter when I told you that I was planning on it. I feel bad that I came back and am putting everybody out. I was planning on staying for a week, but I think it would be better for everyone if I went home early.
But you already made it all the way here, so maybe it is still better for you to just stay as you planned. And I don't know exactly how to word this, but Lisa's the one who doesn't like you, right? So it's only coming from her. It's not like you have a problem with her as well. I think it's fine if you just pretend that you don't notice anything and don't worry about what she does. It's not like the two of you really see each other very often anyway. You don't need to go out of your way to please her.
I get what you mean, but it's pretty hard to just sit around knowing that someone there doesn't like you. I can't really pretend that I don't know now.
Sorry about that. Maybe I was wrong to mention it to you.
No, it's fine. It's better that way. It will just make things awkward for everyone if I'm around. Besides, she's the one who lives here now. I moved out and am only coming back for a visit. I don't want her to feel like she can't eat with everyone like she usually does just because I'm here. Plus, she is doing a lot to help both you and Jacob out as well. I'm very thankful that she is doing that, so I don't want to cause her any trouble or discomfort. So it's fine. I'll just leave tomorrow around noon.
Okay, if you're all right with that, then go ahead. It seems like a shame to leave so soon, though. Next time you decide to come back, it might be better if you find a hotel to stay in. You know, like you do when you come back with Tyler. It might be better for everyone involved.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Anyway, I'll finish up at the shops and come back soon.
Okay, see you in a little bit.
Hi, Lisa. You're not at the house right now, are you? I was trying to find you, but you weren't around.
No, I'm not at home right now. I went out a little bit ago.
Okay, oh, that's fine. But I am leaving today just after noon, so I wanted to let you know. Thanks for all you've done these last 3 days. I planned on helping you out while I was here, but you ended up doing everything yourself.
Don't worry about it at all. It's not really worth mentioning.
Oh, and by the way, you weren't able to eat dinner with us because I was around, right? Sorry about that. I must have put you out quite a bit.
No, that's not it at all. It's always the case that I eat dinner after everyone else is done. It's the rule that the wife does that. You didn't put me out at all.
What? What are you talking about? You eat dinner after everyone else is done? And you say this is a normal thing?
That's a normal thing to do at your house as well, isn't it? I heard from Kelly that it's something that everyone in your family does.
What the hell are you talking about? There's no rule like that, and there never has been. Wait, so the reason that you didn't eat dinner with us wasn't because I was there?
No, of course not. I always eat after everyone even when you're not around. It has nothing to do with you being here.
What do you mean by always? You mean that you eat alone every day? What about Jacob? Did he not say anything about this?
He said that he just wants me to do as Kelly says while we're living here.
I can't believe this. He's going along with my mom when she's bullying you. You should leave here as soon as you can. You don't want to be around people who treat you like that. You should leave with me, Lisa. How about that?
Is that really all right? I heard that you hated me.
I have never said a single word like that about you. Did you also hear that from my mom?
Yes, that's what she said.
Well, trust me when I tell you that I don't hate you. I am very grateful to you for all the help that you've been to Mom. But she said the same thing to me about you, actually. She told me that you don't eat with us because I'm around and you feel uncomfortable being around me. I'm so sorry about my family. I didn't realize that they were acting like this.
Don't blame yourself for that. I also shouldn't have just believed everything that Kelly told me. If you hadn't messaged me just now, I probably would have just continued to put up with everything.
I'm really sorry I was so slow to realize what's actually going on, but it's okay. You don't need to put up with them anymore. Let's get out of here. Will you tell me what's happened since you moved in to live here?
Sophie, where are you right now? You told me that you were going to leave just after midday. Don't tell me that you just ran off without saying anything.
Yeah, I already left.
What? Why would you do that? I wanted to at least be able to see you off. And I also have some delicious grapes that I wanted to give you as well. Someone I know just gave them to me from their own vineyards. You would really love them. They're delicious. If you're not that far away yet, why not come back here once and you can pick them up?
I'm not coming back. And neither is Lisa.
Lisa? What does Lisa have to do with anything?
Lisa is going to be staying with me for a while, so she isn't going to be coming back.
What? Why would that be? Hold on. Are the two of you together right now?
Yeah, we are. I didn't want to leave her in a house where her mother-in-law is bullying her, so I took her with me when I left.
What do you mean by a mother-in-law who bullies her? What is that supposed to even mean? Are you talking about me?
Of course I'm talking about you, and there's no point in you playing dumb right now. Lisa told me everything about the way you've been treating her. And I know that the reason she wasn't talking to me was because you told her that I hated her and that she should leave me alone. Plus, you always make her eat alone after everyone else is done. What is even up with that? Why would you treat her that way after she moved in with you and helps you out around the house so much?
Sophie, you're just being tricked by Lisa right now. I never said anything like that at all. She's just trying to set me up.
And why would she try to do that? What would be the point in it?
I think she must be trying to get her hands on the house. Nobody would go out of their way for that place. It's old and in the middle of nowhere.
The place that Jacob and Lisa were living before they moved in with you to help would have been way more valuable than that old place.
In any case, just don't believe everything that she tells you. There isn't any proof that I've been treating her badly. And you're just going to believe a stranger instead of your own mother? That's so cruel of you.
You're the one who's being cruel. And you didn't want me to come back, so you told me that Lisa hates me so that I would leave sooner as well. You knew that I would find out eventually and get angry at you, right?
I'm telling you that I had no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah? Well, when I pressed Jacob enough, he told me everything as well. He said that he tried to stop you at first, but then you would start to harass him as well. You got angry at him for taking Lisa's side instead of yours and even started bothering him at work, didn't you?
I didn't do anything like that. He's just been tricked by Lisa as well, and the two of them are trying to get me out of the house.
Just please stop it with these stupid lies already. I can't believe anything that you say anymore. I saw all your text exchanges that you have with Lisa. You're always ordering her around and telling her to do whatever you want her to do. It makes me sick seeing my mom talk to people like that. Is it really that fun for you to treat someone like that? She came to live with you since you're all alone there after Dad died, and this is how you treat her? How could the thought even come into your head?
Why are you believing everything that she tells you? I'm the one who's having a hard time here, so why are you taking her side in this?
Because you've been treating her like a servant this whole time. I might not have been there to witness it firsthand, but looking at the whole situation and then the texts that you've sent her, I can see that what she says is right. And because of that, I don't want to have anything more to do with you.
What? Why? What are you talking about?
You told me that Lisa hates me, remember? And then you told her the same thing. You lied to both of us just to keep a secret the fact that you'd been bullying her. I can't believe that my own mother is the kind of person to treat others in this way. But not only that, you also tried to distance Lisa from other people as well. I don't want anything to do with someone like that, and I won't be sending you any more of the money that I had been up until now.
What? But that's really going too far over this, don't you think? I'm the one who raised you your whole life.
I know that, and I am very grateful for it. But now that I've seen how you've been treating others, I don't want to be sending you any more support.
I see. So if Lisa's leaving and not coming back, I suppose she's going to get a divorce from Jacob? Fine, she can do what she wants. I still have Jacob here with me.
No, he also said that he's going to leave. It looks like he also finally plucked up the nerve to cut ties with you. And if you plan on trying to bother him at work or bother me or Lisa as well for that matter, then I will talk to the police to see what we can do about getting a restraining order on you.
Jacob is a nice boy. I know that if I ask him, he will never just abandon me like that.
That's where you're wrong. It might have taken him a while, but he finally decided to take Lisa's side and not yours. You won't convince him otherwise now. I don't know what will happen between the two of them from now on, but at the very least, Jacob and I have decided to not deal with you anymore. Oh, it seems like he's just reached out to you now. Did you get a text from him?
I did. It's just as you said, he plans on cutting ties with me. This can't happen. I won't accept this.
It doesn't matter if you accept this or not. It won't change anything because this is something that we have chosen to do.
Sophie, I'm sorry.
So you finally admit that you were bullying Lisa then?
No, I don't. That's not what was happening. I just wanted Lisa to be a wonderful wife, so I was trying to teach her as her mother-in-law. And I guess that I just went a little overboard and was too strict.
So by verbally abusing her, making her do everything around the house, and then making her eat alone after everyone else each day, would have made her into a wonderful wife? That is the first I have ever heard of anything like that. You never did anything like this back when Grandma was still alive, so I know that she didn't tell you this. Where did you even get this stupid idea from?
I just saw it written somewhere on the internet.
Oh, so you just believe everything that you see written online? In that case, I also found something online that I want to try out. How about that? It said that being alone in their old age is something that really suits mothers-in-law who think that they can bully people around. That's why from now on, I won't be sending you any more money and we won't be meeting each other again either. I read that on the internet and am doing the same thing as you. So there shouldn't be any complaints, should there?
Sophie, I get your point already. I'm sorry. I see that I shouldn't have done that.
I'm not the person who you should be apologizing to.
Well, I apologize to Lisa as well. So please forgive me somehow. I won't do anything like this again, I swear.
That's good to hear that no one else will have to deal with that from you. You have a long time to reflect on your actions as well.
What is that supposed to mean? You're not going to forgive me?
No. I told you that I'm cutting ties with you, and I don't plan on forgiving you either. That's how strongly I feel about what you did.
Why does that have to happen, though? I told you that I'll apologize to Lisa, and I admitted that what I was doing was wrong.
Just because you apologize for something that you did doesn't mean that it goes away and people need to forgive you. If it was that easy, there'd be no need for police. You lazed around while forcing your daughter-in-law to do everything and then lied to your family so that you didn't get caught out. Why would I want to stay in contact with someone like that? Now, just as you wanted, I won't be coming back home anymore. I don't want to have to see your face again. Since that conversation, my mom tried countless times to call me and text me, but I ignored everything. She did the same with Jacob, and when he went home to get his things to take away, she tried to stop him, but with no success. He just took his things and walked out without looking back once. Mom stopped getting financial support from both me and Jacob and has since completely stopped going out of the house. She's always been someone who cared a lot about what people think of her. So she probably didn't want anyone in the town to find out about what happened to protect her own reputation. Even now, she still tries to get in touch with me and Jacob, but both of us just ignore her. At least the texts from her let us know that she's alive, and that's good enough for me. I just hope that from now on, she can keep to herself and live quietly without causing trouble for anybody else. Lisa lived with me for a little while after the incident, but in the end decided to try and make things work once more with Jacob and moved in with him to a new place. At first, I didn't want to forgive Jacob either for not taking Lisa's side and defending her against our mom. But when I think about it, he has always been quite timid ever since we were kids. And on top of that, he always had a tendency to go along with what she said, no matter what it was. I can kind of understand him, and Lisa seems to as well, so what they do with their relationship is up to them, and I'm going to stay out of it. Lisa decided that since he chose to cut ties with our mom, that she would give him another chance, and that's up to her. Although, to be honest, it seems to me that someone like her is wasted on my brother. I'm glad that she gave him another chance, and I hope that they're able to work everything out between them and be happy. But I will make sure to be there for her if she ever is in trouble again and needs my help. I know that there's only so much that's in my power to do, but if I am able, I will do it.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hi, Carson. I heard from my son about what's going on soon. He's going to be gone for 2 months on a business trip out of the state, right? I want to say that we all knew that he'd have a large trip at some point for the company, but I was hoping that it wouldn't happen until your daughter became a bit older.
Hi, Pam. You have that right. He'll be out of the house for 2 long months. And this is far sooner than I had anticipated for him going on a long trip like that.
Well, he told me that during his time away from home, he wants me to be around in case you need anything from me. So if you have any questions or needs, let me know and I'll help out. And even if you don't have anything you need help with, you can always talk to me just for conversation. I'm a retired mother now, so it's always on my mind to step back into my shoes again to help someone care for themselves or their kids.
Thank you, Pam, but I don't think him being out of the house will change much of anything for me. I'm still going to be able to get all my errands and chores done while my daughter's in school. And I'll be out of the house sometimes to work my part-time job, so I won't feel too overwhelmed by everything at home.
Well, that's true that you'll be busy. I'm sure that my son will be a bit worried while he's away, but now that he's out of the house, you and I can spend some more time together. Maybe all of us girls, including Nancy, could take a day to go out to lunch and do a little shopping. I think that these next 2 months would be the perfect time to do something like that.
That's exactly right. I'm sure having him around is the best for me, but it'll be nice to not have to worry about making dinner for him for a little while.
Please don't tell him I said that. I'm not going to say a word to him about that. I know that you'll do your best taking care of the house and your daughter as well as your job. But during times like these, it's best that you spread your wings a little. But I'm sure that your daughter will be a little lonely with him gone. That girl loves to go out a lot and play with my son, right?
Yeah, those two love to go fishing and camping together a lot. But I hate bugs, so I usually don't tag along with them. Even though she's a girl, she really loves to do things that men normally are interested in. She's in 3rd grade now, but she's always out with all the boys in her class playing in the mud during recess, and she'll come home looking absolutely filthy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just proof that she's being raised very well.
I know that, but by this time most girls are getting into fashion and makeup and will start talking about boys that they have crushes on. Yet recently she asked my husband and I to get a pet lizard to keep in her room.
She really is taking after her father, isn't she?
I want to keep letting my daughter do the things she likes, but
having a reptile in this house is where I'm drawing the line with her. Well, as a mother, you'll have things that you don't like her doing, and that's all a part of raising kids.
But I was so happy to have a little girl. I'd have really liked it if she started to get more invested into cute things like dressing up and playing with dolls.
But in this day and age, things like someone's sex and whatnot don't really matter when it comes to what one likes to do. She's a very bright and cheerful girl, and I think that is all one can ask for when seeing their little girl. I think that you and my son are doing a great job of raising her.
Thank you for mentioning that. It makes me really happy to hear that from a fellow mother.
I really do mean everything I've said. And to be honest, kids will not always turn out the way their parents hope for.
That's right. I can't really agree with her having a pet lizard in our house, but as long as she's outside with things like that, I'll let her continue to play with them. Excuse me. I have to head to the supermarket here soon.
Oh, it's already getting to that time of day, isn't it? I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time today talking to you.
Don't worry about it, Pam. It makes me feel a whole lot better knowing that you're there to offer me some help while my husband is away. I'll try my best not to rely on you too much, but if something does happen here, I'll let you know.
Please, and thank you, Carson. And I'll do whatever I can to make sure that you and your girl are okay. Carson, are things going all right over there? Do you think that you can talk for a moment, or are you guys in the middle of dinner right now?
Good evening, Pam. I'm still preparing things for dinner, so I can chat a little. Nancy is still working on her homework, so we aren't having dinner for some time yet.
Is she doing okay?
Yeah, she's been acting the same way she always does.
Well, actually, I'm wanting to talk with you about something related to her. Recently, she's been calling me a lot when it's getting close to our bedtimes.
You're saying that Nancy is the one calling you?
Yes, and at first I thought she was just calling because she had some free time to talk. But it's been happening a lot recently, and so I'm starting to become a little worried about her.
What has Nancy been talking to you about when she calls? I want to know if she's giving you a reason for why she's calling at night.
Well, I haven't heard from her directly what the reason is. I was wondering if the reason was something that she didn't want me asking about. But I just thought that it was a bit odd of her to be calling me so often late at night. I did ask her once, kind of with a lighter tone, but she told me it was because you were taking a bath and she had time to talk.
That makes sense to me. Recently, I've been in the bath a lot, reading my book or watching movies on my phone to relax. And I'm able to do all of that because my husband is away, and Nancy is at that age now where she can handle herself for short periods of time. But maybe she's been getting a little lonely because of that. I'm sorry for causing all of that to affect you.
No, you don't have to worry about that. But I really am wondering if the reason for her calling me so often is because you're in the bathtub relaxing. There are times when she feels she can't hang up on me and the call goes on for hours. And so I'm feeling a sense of anxiety radiating off of her when she calls.
That's probably because she really loves talking to you, Pam. And I think that she's just really been wanting to talk to you and hear your voice. Right now, she's been having a great time at school.
Then I guess I was just overthinking things a little.
This week we've been practicing letting her take baths on her own. And so maybe that's been a bit too exhausting for her since she has to sit in the bathroom alone. I'll make sure from now on that I get her out of the bath sooner so she doesn't feel as worried about being alone. I think by doing that, she'll have more time to go about her business and not have time to always call.
She's still at that age where she needs someone around her to keep her company. And unfortunately, my son is still out of town, so this is pretty tough on her.
I'm sure that's also playing a part in her wanting to talk with you more. But from now on, I'll try a little harder to reduce the time she's allowed on her phone and to make sure that she's not always calling you.
You don't have to tell her to stop calling me. And I feel you telling her to stop calling me will make it harder for her to call people in the future. I think I really was just feeling worried about nothing this time.
Are you sure? Well, I'll still try a bit harder not to leave her alone as much. So I think when she's in the tub or when I'm taking a bath, we're still around one another to keep each other company.
All right. But I'm sure that you still want to take time to have some alone time, so when she has a day off school or it's the weekend, you're more than welcome to have her stay with me.
Thank you for offering that. I'll work with Nancy for a bit here, and when things with her have settled down a bit, ask me again to have her over to your place.
Grammy?
Oh, Nancy, it's been a little while.
Yep.
Have you eaten dinner and everything already?
I already ate.
What did you have for dinner today?
I had chicken noodle soup to eat.
Oh, that sounds so tasty right now. Your Grammy's been having troubles eating soup lately because it makes her belly hurt.
Why?
Because when you get old like me, you start to have problems eating lots of oil. And you know that chicken noodle soup that Grammy makes has lots of oil in it, right?
I didn't know that. But I think what I ate for dinner would be all right for you to eat, Grammy. It was chicken noodle soup from a box.
Oh, so your mom didn't hand make the soup this time? Well, sometimes it's nice to have something light like those boxed chicken noodle soups.
Well, sometimes it's okay to eat it. But I've been eating it every day now, so I'm getting sick of it.
I bet that eating it every day would be very boring.
Don't tell Mom about any of this. If you said that to her, she'd get angry at me.
Don't worry, Nancy, I won't say anything about this.
Hey, Grammy? I have something to ask you.
Oh, what could it be? Do you have something that you want your Grammy to buy for you?
I don't want anything right now. Tomorrow I'm going on a field trip at school, so I want you to make me a lunchbox.
Your mom isn't going to make one for you to take?
No.
Why won't she make one for you? Is it that Mom has become sick recently?
No. Mom hasn't been home for a week now. So I don't think she knows about the field trip that I have tomorrow.
What?
Grammy, please keep this a secret from my mom. I don't want her to hear about any of this.
I won't tell her a thing, but can you tell me what you mean when you say that she hasn't been home for a week?
She told me she has work and will be out of the house, and said that she didn't want me telling you or Dad. She said that if I said anything about her, that Dad would never come back home.
Your mom has been at work. Your mom doesn't work a lot each week, right?
I don't know.
That's right, you wouldn't know anything about that kind of stuff. So right now you're home alone, Nancy?
Yes.
And when you would call me a lot on the phone, was that because Mom wasn't home? So you called me because you were lonely?
Yes.
Do you know when your mom is supposed to come home?
She said next Sunday.
So another 3 days from now, then. All right, then. Grammy is going to make you that lunchbox to take on the field trip tomorrow. I'll make sure that it's really yummy just for you, okay?
Really? Thank you, Grammy!
Hey, Nancy, do you want to come and stay the night at Grammy's house until your mom comes home?
But if Mom knows about this, Dad will never come back home.
You'll be fine, Nancy. You can come over here as a secret, and your mom will never know. And I'm telling you, Nancy, that your dad will come home no matter what.
Really?
Has your Grammy ever lied to you before?
No, you never lie. Okay, I want to go to Grammy's house. It has been really scary staying here all by myself.
I'm sure it has been really scary for you. Being alone when you're young is scary and lonely. So asking someone to help you is not a bad thing to do, Nancy. Now I'm going to drive your papa's car to your house and get you.
I can't wait. I'll wait for you.
Pam, have you gotten any calls or texts from Nancy lately? Why do you ask? Oh, I was just a little interested is all. I just wanted to see if she was still causing you any trouble or not on your end. Nancy has never caused me any sort of trouble before, though, Carson. So then she hasn't called or texted you at all? The last time she messaged me was last week on that Thursday. Is that so? Understood, and thank you for letting me know that. Could this mean that you're finally getting around to looking for your daughter? Huh? Well, if it's her you're worried about, she's at my house with me. And so I'd like you to explain everything that you've been up to me. Excuse me, Pam? Actually, my close friend has been in a serious accident and was on the brink of death. So I had to head back to my hometown to go be with her. And why didn't you bring Nancy along with you if you were going to be gone for that long? I had been planning on coming right back after seeing how my friend was doing. But then when I was there in person, time just started to pass by without me noticing. Well, if that was happening with you, then you should have told me or your husband about what was going on. What were you thinking, leaving a little girl who's only in 3rd grade all alone at home for a whole week?
I'm sorry about that. I knew that one of you would get really mad at me for leaving the house for a bit, even if it was for a few hours. And I started to worry that you'd begin to hate me for doing something like that, so I was hesitant to tell anyone.
But the one who was most worried was Nancy. And another thing, I know that you did not go back to your hometown, Carson.
Did you end up calling my parents and asking them about me?
I sure did.
Well, I didn't go back to my parents' house, though. I was staying at my best friend's house that whole time.
Stop trying to hide things from me. I'm getting tired of you trying to make your lie even more complicated than it has to be. I know all about how you packed up a large suitcase full of clothes and everything and left the house for 1 whole week without Nancy. And when I saw you come back to your house with another person to be dropped off, I got a good look at their face in the car.
What?
And as they pulled out of the driveway and took off, I got a great photo of their license plate and am looking it up right now. So I think you know how all of this is going to end, right? Do you know what we're going to want to say to you?
I'm sorry about that, Pam. That was really not something I wanted you to know about.
You should be apologizing to your husband and daughter, not me.
Does my husband already know about this?
Yes.
Well, you're wrong. Let me explain the truth to you. For just a bit there, I became too relaxed with myself while my husband was gone. But know that I do really love my husband and Nancy with all my heart. I'm sorry for what you had to learn about, but please forgive me.
You had an affair. And not just that, but you also left Nancy home alone a bunch of other times to go on vacation. Do you think I'm okay with all of that?
I did not have an affair.
Do you really want to make me spit out all the facts to you, Carson? The man that was in that car that brought you home was a man your age.
But it wasn't just the two of us that were together.
Well, then can you show me proof that there were others with you guys at all times?
Well, there were some other people with us that I had only just met.
Well, before we continue talking about you having an affair, let's talk about the main problem here. And that's that you left your little girl home all alone for days at a time. And all those times that she had called me a few weeks ago was when you weren't even in the house with her, right? And after talking with you about her calling me all the time, you went and yelled at her to never call me again, right?
I'm sorry.
If it was just that you had been having an affair with another man, then I'd let this all be you and my son's problem to solve. But you left Nancy home all alone to go out with another man. And not just for a day or two, but one time for a whole 7 days. I am not going to forgive you for something as irresponsible as that. I don't think you're ever going to get to call yourself her mother ever again after this.
What has my husband said about this?
I think you should know what he's said more than anyone right now, right? What do you think a father that loves his daughter so much would be saying right now?
I don't want to get a divorce, though. I was just going out to play with some other men.
You left your little girl at home all by herself for days to go let other men have fun with you and think that we wouldn't get upset with you?
Pam, I promise that I'll never go behind neither my husband nor my daughter's back again. So please try and help them understand what's happened here. I really love my daughter so much and think that she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've never meant to leave her behind before, and I don't ever want to get a divorce and lose my rights to her.
You told Nancy that if she told anyone about you or about the fact that she was left home alone, that her dad would never come back. That's how you chose to threaten the girl you say you love so much?
I never meant that as a threat, though. That was just me asking her to do me a favor.
You told her the worst thing that she never wanted to hear from you, and that was that her father could never come home if she talked about you. I'm telling you right now that you have left your daughter behind by choosing to scar her so that you could go off and have sex with other men. When children are at their youngest, they are the most vulnerable to being hurt by their parents' actions. And those scars will never heal.
I'm sorry. I really messed up a lot this time. So that's why this week-long trip was going to be my last time, because I knew that what I was doing was stupid. I'm telling you the truth right now, so please believe me.
I don't believe a word that comes out of your mouth after what stupid things you've gone and pulled. And that's because you lied to me about all of it.
I have not. I'm telling you that not all of this has been a lie. Please, Pam, give me one more chance to make all of this right.
You are the one that made yourself lose all the respect you had gained from me. You would apologize to me for any of the troubles that Nancy was causing me when she called over and over again. But you forgot to apologize for all the troubles you were causing us. At this point, you can go ahead and run off with whatever guy you'd like that isn't my son. You're the only person that's willing to lie to your own child and then lie to her grandma and father, right? So you can go ahead and live a life outside my family. After that, Carson and my son got a divorce, and in that divorce, my son got full custody of Nancy. And so now he's back home with me, and we all take care of Nancy. This is something that I only learned about after the divorce, but apparently Carson was with other men for well over a year before we found out. And the main man that she was fooling around with happened to be her boss from her part-time job. But he wasn't the only man she had been with during that time, as there were 4 other men that she would go out with when her husband was away for business. And we also learned later that what she meant by there being other people with her and the men that she went out with for a week was that she had been with her boss and another couple that had all participated in sexual activities together. It was both very disgusting, but also relieving to find out all of this about her, because she would only ever go out with these guys while my son was on business trips, so both him and I never knew a thing about Carson being out of the house. And had she not left the house for over a week, leaving Nancy on her own, we may never have known about what Carson was doing with all those other men. But I guess this time Carson became a little too daring and wanted to be around her boss and other men a bit more than before. And having left the house multiple times while leaving Nancy at home all alone, I can't believe that she never saw how lonely it was making her daughter. I think all of that really created a lot of scars for Nancy, but I'm so thankful that she had the courage to tell me about it so that my son and I could take action. And as for Carson and her boss, he apparently had a wife himself that he was still around. And so, in the end, Carson was forced to not only pay a settlement to my son, but also had to do the same to the wife of the man she thought was worth having an affair with. And of course, since my son got full custody of Nancy, Carson will be left paying child support a long time now until Nancy turns 18. So for the next 10 years or so, she's going to live life under all the troubles she's caused herself. And hopefully while being in deep regret about all of it. I hope that length of time is enough to teach her that she never really cared about her family, and should just stay the whore that she is for the rest of her life. Nancy was really sad at the time of the divorce, but over just a couple of months, brightness began to fill her eyes again. And right now, she's back to being the happy girl we love as she runs off to school every day. And after the amount of time she was left home all alone with nobody to keep her company, whenever there is someone home with her now, she's so excited. And as for my son and I, we are so happy to know that there will be no more family around her that are willing to lie and threaten her. I will do everything I can to make sure that my granddaughter doesn't have to relive those memories. So for now, I'm going to make sure that her and I are always around each other, and that she has someone she can count on to help her when she needs it. And in the place of her missing mother, I'll be there to give her the love she needs to grow up strong and cheerful.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Mom, is now a good time to talk? I was hoping we could, have a little word about something.
What do you want? To be honest with you, I get a bad feeling every time you message me, Hunter.
Wow, how could you say such a thing? That cuts me deep, Mom. Anyone would think you'd be overjoyed to get a message from your only son.
I said it precisely because I'm not overjoyed, and with good reason. Anyway, what did you want?
I'm sorry to trouble you like this, but can I have $500? I tried my best to get a hold of it by other means, but nothing panned out. Think of it as pocket money? Pretty please? I'm in a really tough spot this month, and I desperately need someone to bust me out of it.
I just gave you some last week. Do you think I'm made of money? Please stop doing this. I'm at my wit's end here. You're a grown man, for Pete's sake. I made it very clear that last week was the last time I'd be giving you anything. I can't believe you're asking me again.
I know that, Mom, but when I say I'm in a tough spot, I mean a really tough spot. Like, might not be able to carry on paying the bills tough. I live in the city. Things cost money here, you know? Surely you've seen the news about how much rent and food prices are going up. Things aren't as cheap as they were for you back in the day. I know you gave me money last week, but to be totally honest with you, Mom, it just wasn't enough.
If things are so difficult for you, you know you're always welcome to come home and live with me. Let's be realistic. There's no guarantee you'll even carry on with your current job.
Why even say things like that? God damn it, Mom. You never have any faith in me. I like this company. Things feel different here. I really think this could be the one that I go the distance with. So there's no way I'm quitting this time.
I wonder. I'd love to believe that, but you've switched jobs more times than I can count now.
I told you I'm not quitting this time. Jeez, Mom. I wish you'd have my back sometimes. Besides, I don't want to live in the countryside again. There's nothing to do here. I'm bored out of my skull whenever I come to see you. The thought of living there makes me want to neck myself. Plus, Ingrid said she didn't want to live out in the sticks. She's a city girl, always has been, always will be.
You've been married for a whole 3 years now. Don't you think it's time you stopped pestering your aged mother for money? Why not ask Ingrid to start working part-time if you two are struggling so much financially? Surely that should take the burden off.
Yeah, that's not going to be as easy as you make it sound. I told her she'd never have to work when we got married.
But that was when things were better, wasn't it? What else can you do when reality comes knocking at the door like this? Can you really get by without her contributing anything? I've given in to your pestering for far too long already. If you think you can carry on relying on me to fix all of your money worries, you've got another thing coming. You're not a teenager anymore, Hunter. Do you think I don't have outgoings of my own? I have bills to pay and food to buy, not to mention my retirement planning. I'm no spring chicken anymore. You two are in your prime. Isn't there anything you can do to ease the pressure yourselves? I can't afford to waste any more of my money.
Waste? It's not a waste at all. I can't think of a better use for it. I'm your son. What's money for if not helping out family in times of trouble?
I take it that means you'll be looking after me when I'm too old to do it myself?
Well, I'm not sure about that actually. Ingrid didn't seem too open to the idea of us moving in with you when I asked her. Sorry, Mom, but I don't think that's going to be possible. It's not that I don't want to, though. I do, really, but you know how stubborn and willful she is.
Yes, I'm quite aware of how it's nothing but take when it comes to you two. You're going to have to fix your own problems.
Mom, please. You're the only person I can rely on. God, none of this would be happening if Dad was still around. He'd have my back.
If your dad was still around, he'd be coming down on you like a ton of bricks for begging your parents for money despite being a fully grown man. Don't be so naive. I'm a damn sight softer on you than he would be.
But don't you still have some of his inheritance money left?
He died when you were in elementary school, Hunter. His inheritance money disappeared eons ago on raising you and sending you to college. That didn't stop you spending a gap year doing absolutely nothing in your bedroom surrounded by empty cans of beer and Cheeto packets, though, did it? The chance of any money that goes to you being wasted is too high for me to justify doing it anymore. I'm sorry, but it ends now.
Jesus, Mom. Are you really preaching at me over ancient history now? What's gotten into you today? Give me a break. I don't know what it's going to take to satisfy your absurd expectations. It seems like nothing I do will ever satisfy you. I graduated college and got married. What more do you want? Isn't this what society wants of me?
Which means you should be all the more capable of paying your own way in life. You're not a baby anymore, Hunter. You're almost 30. You flew the nest ages ago, and I'm done paying the consequences for your irresponsible spending habits. If you don't want Ingrid to work, figure out a way to get through this on your own. Stand on your own 2 feet for a change.
Please, Mom, will you just stop? You know you don't really mean any of this. Just help me out, for crying out loud. I'm your son, damn it. You're flesh and blood. I swear on Dad's memory, this is the last time I'll ever ask you for money.
How many times have I heard that now? You haven't even shown your face around here since you got married 3 years ago. You've got some nerve to come begging me for money. I bet if not for me being a convenient little piggy bank for you to raid in emergencies, you'd never speak to me.
I've got a lot of stuff going on, Mom. It's nothing personal.
I'm not giving you any more money, and that's final. You and Ingrid have plenty of options as for how you proceed from here. Until I can at least see you're making an effort by yourselves, I'm not giving you another cent of my money.
Wow. Fine. Forget it. I see how it is. Screw you then. You're the most useless mom there ever was.
Hunter, what's going on? I just got a message from Ingrid. Would you mind explaining to me what on earth is going on here?
Huh? What are you talking about? What message?
She told me to stop bullying her.
Oh, I think this might be about the part-time job thing.
How exactly am I bullying your wife? Go on. I'm waiting. This should be good.
You're the one that said all that stuff about her, Mom. You know, that the reason we have no money is because Ingrid refuses to get a part-time job?
You know full well that's not what I said. Why are you misleading her? Is this intentional? Did you want her to get mad at me? I almost spat my coffee out when she accused me of bullying her. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life.
If she feels like she's being bullied, then she's being bullied. And it's as simple as that. You're the aggressor. You don't get to decide.
All I said was there are things you two should be doing your own before coming and pestering me for money. At no point did I blame her for anything. Being married is about working together as a team to overcome life's challenges. If your salary isn't enough to get by on, then would Ingrid picking up a part-time job to supplement the finances a little really be the worst thing in the world? That's all I was suggesting. I hardly see how it constitutes bullying. Am I just supposed to keep quiet and let you keep walking the path to financial ruin?
Maybe it felt like a suggestion to you, but do you not see how Ingrid could interpret that as you blaming her for all of our financial problems? Keep your suggestions to yourself.
Something tells me it had more to do with the way you told her. Make sure you tell her I wasn't trying to blame her for anything. This is all one big silly misunderstanding. I tried explaining myself, but she was so high on righteous indignation, I don't think she even bothered to stop and think about what I was saying.
If you weren't blaming her, then send us some money. If you really cared about her feelings, that's what you do. She'd feel a whole lot better with some financial aid by way of apology.
Apology? Make no mistake, Hunter, I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm just telling you to clear up the misunderstanding you've caused by painting me as some kind of aggressor to your wife.
She asked you herself too, right? If you'd help out by tossing a little of the green stuff our way.
Yes, she did. That's not all she said either. She said I spoiled you and failed to teach you how to have any sense with money.
There you go. That just proves it. This is all your fault.
This is not a laughing matter. Do not blame your abominable decision-making skills on my parenting, boy. Let me make one thing crystal clear. If she's unhappy with you, she needs to remember that she's the one who chose to marry you. and that she knew full well what an irresponsible buffoon you are with money when she let you put that ring on her finger. I'd be lying if I said I didn't sympathize with her, but it was ultimately her decision, and now she has to pay the price. No means no, and that's the end of it.
But Ingrid's parents already said that they don't want anything else to do with us.
No way. Were you pestering her parents for money too? Have you no shame? It's bad enough that you do it with me, but I can't believe you do that with someone else's mom and dad.
Geez, Mom, it wasn't me. Ingrid asked them.
What's the difference? How embarrassing. I'm begging you, Hunter, please start living like a responsible human being and fix your problems yourself. If you're struggling to get by, how about I ask your Uncle Jeff if he'll let you help out on his farm to supplement the finances? He'll let you live at his place for dirt cheap and provide all of your meals. As long as you work hard, you'll never want for anything.
I already told you I don't want to live in the countryside. It's boring. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was thinking of heading home for a little while. I have a few days off coming up soon.
Really? I'd like that. It'd be nice if we could visit your father's grave together. I haven't seen you in 3 years. You could bring Ingrid along too. I'd like to hear about why exactly it is that you've been having so much financial trouble. I still haven't heard anything in the way of a reason.
Huh? And why do you have to?
I don't have to, and it's not like I'm forcing you to tell me anything, but if you're serious about wanting my help, then I need to know what exactly it is I'm giving you money for. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to give you some advice? I got through a pinch or two myself back in the day, you know.
Fine, whatever. I'll speak with Ingrid about it.
Okay, let me know when you've decided whether you're coming or not. I'll have a banquet full of all yours and Ingrid's favorite foods ready when you arrive. Hunter, what in heaven's name is going on?
Oh no. Should I get busted?
Busted? Do you think this is a joke? You used my credit card without my permission, didn't you?
Sorry, Mom, but there was a little something I really wanted.
A little something? You must be joking. I saw the transaction history. You bought a bunch of branded clothes and accessories, expensive aftershaves, and got a tattoo? And the 5-frickin' star hotel you booked, what was that all about? Do you have any idea how many thousands of dollars of my money you've wasted on your spending spree?
Chrissy and Dave invited us out on vacation to Hawaii with them. The problem was that we didn't have any money of our own, but we thought it'd be rude to say no, so if you think about it logically, we didn't have a choice.
Having no money and being invited on holiday by your friends means you have to steal money from your mother's credit card behind her back? I'm not sure I see the logic. The card's still here, so I can only assume you must have taken it out of my purse and taken a picture of my details while you were staying with me. So you could go on a spending spree when you got home.
Sorry, Mom, but we really are struggling. I'm serious about that. Like, really struggling. You wouldn't help us out no matter how much we begged you. What else were we supposed to do? I honestly didn't see any other way to fix the shit show that is now my life.
That's why you came to stay with me, isn't it? You were after my money all along. As soon as you went home, almost $1,500 suddenly appeared from my account.
Huh? You noticed?
Of course I noticed.
Wait, what? So, why didn't you say anything?
I looked the other way because I assumed you really must be at rock bottom if you were resorting to stealing from your own mother. I decided I'd let it slide one last time out of sympathy for you. But that was before I saw what you spent it on. This ends now.
Jeez, Mom, I said I'm sorry. I'll give back everything I took one day, I promise. Will you just take a chill pill? Have a cup of coffee and take some deep breaths or something. This is ridiculous.
You won't pay it back one day. You'll pay it back right now.
I seriously can't do that. Surely you know I can't. If you knew how bad things were, you wouldn't be asking that of me.
If you have a job, you can take out a loan. I don't care if you have to go into debt. I want back every last cent of the money you've stolen from me. Do you even have any idea how much you've spent over these past 2 months? Or were you just spending indiscriminately without any regard for how much it might cost me and the damage it might do? Go on, take a guess.
About 3,000 maybe?
6,000.
Holy Jesus balls, that much?
You don't get to be shocked, Hunter. You're the one who spent it.
No, you're wrong. This has to be Ingrid's doing. I told her to be careful, but she wouldn't listen. Whenever she saw something she wanted, she'd buy it right then and there, and there was nothing I could do to stop her.
I don't care. All I care about is what you are going to do to make this right. Are you going to pay up or not? I want an answer now.
Mom, I can't.
I see. Then I never want to see or hear from you again. We're done. You are no longer my son.
What? You're cutting me out of your life?
Exactly. I'll think of the 6,000 as a fee for getting rid of you.
I get it, Mom. It was wrong of me to use your credit card without your permission like that. But do you really have to be this mad? Worse things have happened. It's not like we did it for no reason. We fell on hard times. You have money to spare, so we figured it wouldn't be a huge deal if we helped ourselves with some of it.
I'm angry with you precisely because I do not have money to spare. You presumptuous, arrogant, selfish little cretin. Does your ignorance know no bounds?
Holy crap, Mom, don't call me stuff like that. Chill already. Answer me this. You're getting by just fine, aren't you? What's the big deal?
Whether I'm struggling or not isn't the point. You and Ingrid could also be getting along just fine if you stopped being so wasteful by spending your money on frivolous junk. Not ordering takeout every night would be a big boost to the finances, too. While you're at it, how about you don't impulsively buy everything you take a fancy to and actually start budgeting for the first time in your life? If you weren't spending like such stupendous morons, you wouldn't be in the red every month and you wouldn't be stealing from your mother.
You say we spend like stupendous morons, but I don't see anything wrong with us treating ourselves to nice things every now and then. It's not like I don't work hard. What's the point even being alive in the first place if we gotta spend our whole lives tolerating the unhappiness of not being able to enjoy the things we like? That's a sucker's life if you ask me.
It's not that I disagree. It's just that I'm telling you to do it with your own damn money.
Are you sure you really want to cut ties with me and Ingrid? Something tells me it might not be in your best interest. Dad's not around to provide for you anymore, and you're in touch with maybe 3 of our relatives at best. I'm pretty much the only real family you have left. Your one and only son.
You may be my one and only son, but if having you in my life means having my retirement fund stolen behind my back, then I think I'll take my chances on my own. But if you really want to talk about my best interests, would you mind telling me what exactly I gain by having you in my life? Is there even a single benefit of having you around? You didn't even come and visit me in hospital when I had my accident last year. Steve from across the street feels like more of a son to me than you do. He visited me once a week to see how I was doing and deliver things I needed during my hospital stay.
Maybe so, but he isn't your son, is he? He's pretty much a stranger.
Exactly my point. Which means you're such a waste of space that I'd rather have a stranger in my life than you.
Wow. Just wow. I guess you really do want to live in isolation then. Have it your way, Mom. Don't come crawling back to me when you can't take it anymore.
Yep, I'll be going at it alone from now on. Make sure you don't cause trouble for anyone else like you did for me. That's my final wish to you as your mother before we become strangers.
Don't make me laugh. You lost the right to call yourself my mom when you refused to help me in my hour of need. I'll never be there for you when you need me. You better not come begging, because it'll be an instant no. You better make damn sure you leave me some money behind to enjoy a nice holiday with when you kick the bucket. You good-for-nothing old hag. Never speak to me again. Hey, what's going on? Where are you?
Excuse me?
Mom, there are strangers in your house.
Huh?
Did you read my message? I came to visit you, but there was some couple I don't recognize living in your house. Who are they? I knocked and asked for you, but they said you're not here right now. What's going on? If there are strangers living here, guess you must have moved?
Strangers? Oh, don't be so silly. Those aren't strangers, that's my son and his wife. What are you talking about?
Huh? Your son? But I'm your son.
Wrong, I only have one son.
Don't even joke about things like that. I'm your only son. I'm an only child.
I thought I'd made it clear that you were no longer my son. Did you forget that I broke off all ties with you a few years ago?
I didn't forget. But that's ancient history now. Can't we just let bygones be bygones? You know, Mom, I've been doing an awful lot of self-reflection. I finally started acting my age.
I'm pleased to hear that. What a relief. All right, so I take it that was all? Goodbye.
Mom, wait! Who are that couple? Will you just tell me already?
They moved in a couple of years ago. Remember before when I told you about Steve, my neighbor who came to visit me in hospital when I had my accident? He got married.
But why are they living in your house?
Because I gave it to them.
What? The house?
Yep. Living on your own in the countryside isn't easy when you get old, and that place just wasn't suitable for me anymore.
Why didn't you tell me? What were you thinking? Are you insane? I thought I was getting the family home. It was supposed to be mine.
Why would you inherit a house you never even visited? Didn't you say you were done with me?
Well, sure, I did, but...
Let me guess, were you thinking of selling it? I hope you didn't get your hopes up, dear. It was older than the dinosaurs and in serious need of repairs. You'd have gotten maybe $8,000 at best.
But $8K is a lot of money.
Oh, look, so it was the money. I knew it.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I came home because I was worried sick about you.
Well, you can relax, because I'm living in an apartment complex for the elderly now. I'm living the good life without a care in the world.
Where?
There's absolutely no chance of me telling you that I can't risk you showing up pestering me for money again. I've had enough of you for 10 lifetimes.
Mom, please. Why do you have to be so cruel? I'd never do anything like that. Just tell me, please. You know how they say you don't know what you've got until it's gone? Well, I finally realized how grateful I was to have you in my life while we weren't talking these last few years. That's why I want to see you. Please, Mom, I want to see you again.
How are things going with Ingrid?
Where did that come from? I guess they're going pretty good.
And the debt?
Huh?
You're in debt, right?
No. What are you talking about?
That's strange. I got a phone call a few months back saying my son was in debt. You're borrowing from people you shouldn't be borrowing from, aren't you? I told them that I don't have a son and that if they dared call me again, I'd call the cops immediately. They stopped after that and I haven't heard from them since. I almost spat my Earl Grey tea out when they told me how much you owed. That's not the kind of money you can repay in a few years, let alone a few months. Well, how is the debt situation?
Well, I still can't afford to pay it off.
I knew it, so that's why you tried to come back crying to me.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I was doing my best to pay it off without having to bug you again, but Ingrid's spending is out of control. And she still says she doesn't want to get a job.
I see neither of you have changed a bit.
Please stop talking to me like that. Please, Mom. I'm at my breaking point here. I don't know how much more I can take. Gah. I've been doing all kinds of things to save money lately, you know? You have no idea how hard I'm trying.
Lately? You had countless jobs over the years. I heard from Ingrid's parents. About the time you stole everything worth money from their house after they asked you to watch the place while they went on holiday. You used my credit card without my permission, and you stole from your in-laws. What you did is a crime.
This really is the last time, Mom, please. I'll never bug you or cause trouble again after this. And I'll even look after you when you can't take care of yourself anymore. Ingrid said she'd be more than happy to help out if you pull through for us just this one time.
It's too little, too late, Hunter. While you were getting into mountains of debt by spending like a pair of prime grade A morons with no sense of money or understanding of the concept of consequences, I was making preparations to live on my own. I knew that if I was ever in a pinch, I knew I could count on my son Steve and his wife to help me. In fact, I'm surrounded by people who are 1,000,000 times more kind, caring, and helpful than either of you two could ever dream of being. So you really don't need to worry about me at all.
God, why you gotta be so mean to me, Mom? I'm serious this time is different. I'm really in trouble here. I'm scared of what might happen if I don't get a hold of this money and fast. There were a bunch of guys in leather jackets outside our house with crowbars yesterday. I borrowed from some very bad people. This is no laughing matter.
Who chose to do that? You did. The mess you've gotten yourself into is way beyond my capabilities at this point. You either need to go to the police or go into hiding.
Mom, you have to help me. Please don't abandon me like this.
I loved you unconditionally because I was your mother. You're the one who abandoned my love. There's no going back now.
I'll do whatever you say, I swear. I'll never get into debt again. I'll start taking my work more seriously.
Forgive me, my dear, but I'm finding it hard to believe a word you say because you haven't told me the truth in over a decade. You've never taken work seriously in your life.
This time will be different, I swear. I can change. I'm ready. I don't have anyone else to rely on. Ingrid's mom and dad said that if either of us go anywhere near their house, they'll call the police.
You two should be grateful to me and Ingrid's parents. We would all have been well within our rights to file a police report for what you did. You should be thanking us you're not in jail. That was because of the last shred of compassion we still had for you, but believe me, there is nothing left anymore.
I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me, Mom.
Why do you keep calling me Mom? If you recall, I resigned from my role as your mother a long time ago. I'll never tell you where I live, and I'm going to be blocking you real soon. I don't care how much trouble you're in, I'm not helping you. How could I? We'll never see each other or speak again. My desperate ex-son and his wife tried contacting me countless times after that. But I swiftly blocked them both, and with that, my peace and tranquility was restored. The only reason I didn't block them earlier was because somewhere deep inside me, I hoped that one day they'd change their ways. Part of me wished that one day my son would change and we could enjoy a healthy relationship that didn't involve being pestered for money every 5 minutes. Alas, my hope was futile, and I had no choice but to accept that Hunter was lost beyond salvation when I got the phone call from the debt collectors. There's no doubt about it, it was a heart-wrenchingly sad, but at the same time felt strangely liberating, because it meant I could finally let go and move on. There may be people who criticize me for not helping him out in his time of need because while he may be an adult, he was still my son. But family or not, there comes a time when you have to draw a line in the sand for the sake of your own well-being and sanity. And that line got crossed a long time ago. If my son hadn't taken advantage of my trusting nature, none of this would have ever happened. And I would have still loved and cherished him like I did when he was a little boy. I haven't heard anything from Hunter or Ingrid since I blocked them. I guess they must be just about surviving somehow. But even if they're not, I don't feel any sympathy for them. They got themselves into this mess and had ample opportunity to get themselves out of it before they passed the point of no return. I've spent these last few years of peace and quiet free from the money-crazed pestering of my son by working online translating Japanese from my new home. Eventually, I completely made up for everything they took from me, and now my money worries are a thing of the past. I don't get lonely because Steve and his wife, who I gave the house to, regularly come over to see me and make sure I have everything I need. I also made a bunch of new friends in the apartment block for the elderly I live in. This place can be such a riot sometimes. I don't know how much time I have left on this earth, but I intend to enjoy it to the fullest by focusing on my own happiness and being there for my loved ones.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.